Hello, everyone. Welcome to Peabolic Notes. My name is Michael Kirkchin, and today is Friday, March the 4th, 2022. And today I'd like to share with you something I'm trying to discover as far as the link, if there is one, between interest rates and Bitcoin. And the reason why I want to do this is because I went back to the history of interest rates, and I was looking at really the 10-year treasuries of the US. That is where I took as my benchmark. And I wanted to kind of figure out that and link it with what Raoul Pal had said in one of his recent reports, talking about the link of rates being increased and recessions following. And I wanted to see if there was a link between that and also the price of Bitcoin as well. So before I get started, I'd like to give a full disclosure. I'm sharing with you my personal opinions, my personal ideas about investing. Anything I'm doing here is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. So please do your own verification before investing in any of these assets. To begin, I'd like to share with you my computer screen and show you what I did as far as the 10-year treasuries. So I went back, and for my source of information, what I used Wikipedia to try and go back to 1981 and figure out when exactly were the recessions. So these varied in different periods. From 1981 to 82, it was a year of 4 months. 1990 to 91, there was 8 months. March 2001 and November 2001, it was 8 months. December 2007 to June 2009, that was a major meltdown that we saw in the housing market in the US. It was a year and a half. And of course, the recent one that we just all witnessed, February 2020 till April 2020, which was the one of the 2 months, the one that was linked with the COVID-19 vaccine, the COVID-19 pandemic. And as I look back to the historical rates of the interest rates, the 10-year treasury, so we see that it's been really very interesting how it's kind of been trending downwards really since something around 1980. And Raoul Pal had said that each time that interest rates hit this top line, that it was actually a recession that followed. And I looked at his analysis, and it looks very accurate, because if you look at the recessions, the 5 of them going back to 1981, 1980, every single time that we saw the interest rates hit this top band, it happened over here, not over here. So you see over here, there was no interest rates hitting the top band. But this one, when interest rates hit the top band, there was a recession. Interest rates hit the top band here at around 2000 February, and recession followed in July 2001. As we fast forward to over here, which was interest rates hitting the top band in May 2007, a recession followed in January 2008. Over here, interest rates hit the top band in November 2018, and a recession, a minor one, have followed with the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's why it was very interesting seeing these. So that I do see a link. So if we look at where the 10-year treasury is today, it's hovering around 1.74%, which seems to be somewhere in the middle. And it looks like we're going to be okay, unless if they really start playing with interest rates and if it starts going higher and higher. So let's see how everything works out. Obviously, with the situation right now in the world, with what's going on in Europe, there could be things happening that could be out of our control. So I'm going to pay close attention to this. As far as Bitcoin dominance is concerned, so we basically see that Bitcoin dominance is still at above 40%, well above 40%. Ethereum dominance is running at around 18%. So meaning that Bitcoin is still has the major impact on the cryptocurrency space. And if we look at what's going on with the total crypto marketplace, we're around 1.7 trillion market cap, which is below the 50-week moving average. So that's why it's interesting to kind of see that we're below that, but we're well above the 100-week moving average. That would place it at somewhere at approximately 1.3 trillion. Meanwhile, today we're at around 1.7 trillion, which is a good, let's say 20% above that. So basically, I like to look at what Bitcoin is doing also, just so we understand where we're at as far as the two important moving averages for Bitcoin, which are really the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. So it looks like we're still below it, even though it looks like we have a wick right over here on February 28th, a week ago. But it didn't really close above these numbers, which are basically the 20-week SMA and 21-week EMA. So meaning that we're still in bearish territory as far as the moving averages are concerned. Obviously, this has I learned this from Ben Cohen. It was so accurate. This has a tremendous effect on the altcoins, because when each time Bitcoin is below these moving averages, then all altcoins suffer against Bitcoin. So I'm keeping a close eye on this, and I'm also going to be keeping a close eye to what's going on with the interest rates, so that this way we see if how things work out. And also, very interesting point as well. If you look at that previous chart that I had for the historical interest rates, we noticed that over here from February 2020 until April 2020, when we had this COVID-19 linked recession, what this did, as far as our Bitcoin pricing was concerned, it looks like it didn't really move much, or it didn't really move at all. Because if I look at to see what Bitcoin did as far as those exact periods, which is basically going from February till April 2020. Let me go back to my Bitcoin chart, which was right over here. So you see that from February till April of 2020, Bitcoin would have been somewhere at approximately right over here. So February till May till April 2020, Bitcoin was going to be hovering something in a range of, it looks like it stayed between a price point of around $8,000 US until something in the range of February till May. Looks like basically for the whole period, it hovered at the same price point, or something in range of approximately let's say $8,000 US until let's say $8,400 US. But meanwhile, if you look at the actual variations, it had dramatic variations. So if you look at, if I come in here and I look at see what it was doing as far as the pricing was concerned for those time periods between February of 2020 until April 2020, even though it ended up at the exact same place where I started, in the same time, it had gone down all the way down to $2,800. And at the highest, it was at something in the range of $10,000 US. So obviously, it was a huge variation. Even though from beginning to the end, it stayed at the exact same period. So we'll keep a close eye on this. We're not hoping for any recessions, but if any recessions do happen, we have to kind of understand that it does seem to have it may have a direct sell-off on Bitcoin, as people, I guess, would want to take tokens out and do other expenses and so forth. But then when the recession's over, it looks like there's a good possibility that Bitcoin will end up where it was in the first place. So the traders will make money on the short side, but the hodlers would just be exactly where they were before the recession started. So thanks for watching, everyone, and let's keep a close eye on all these in coming months.